What is going on, Panther Lair? We are back talking about the Pittsburgh Panthers loss to the Florida State Seminoles on the road this past Wednesday. Now, this is probably going to be the last video here in this breakdown. I think I may have set the record here doing like 6 or 7 of these. Again, a lot of it is to show appreciation to some of the comments you guys left for me in the forum section. I don't think I can do this every time. I obviously can't cover everything that's put there, but hopefully a lot of things that I'm hitting on here were things that you guys were interested in. And I do want to spend some time on defense because, Pitt had their struggles on offense, executing their game plan. It's one of the reasons they didn't win. But I also feel like the Panthers struggled on the defensive end, particularly in the second half where they did give up 52 points to the Seminoles. So clearly there was things that didn't go right there. And a lot of that happened in ball screens. And I think there was just a poor execution and a little bit of miscommunication that kind of led to a lot of these instances. We're going to take a look at 3 of them right now. So this one here early in the second half. And you'll see Cam Corrin's going to hard hedge here. And when anytime you hard hedge, you really just want to turn this ball handler away. But you have to then be urgent in getting back to your assignment here and allowing, Ishmael Leggett to recover. And Corrin just never gets back that fast. You'll see here, Leggett now very good position, did his job. Corrin has to sprint back here. Now, there's an opportunity for maybe this to get picked up, like maybe as this gets snuffed out here, could Dunn be an extra foot into the lane here, possibility extra foot into the paint. It's possible, but they're clearly distracted on this side. None of these help defenders are ever a factor, and just an easy lob over the top. I think Corrin has to sprint back there. So here, just a little bit later, like a minute later. So again, I just said the purpose of a hard hedge or a hedge in general is you want to turn the ball handler away. I generally think that Papa Conte has done a pretty good job when he gets minutes outside of fouling. But here, he just doesn't do anything effectively to allow this hedge to turn the ball handler away. Because of that, even though Leggett's going to kind of meet him right here and recover, Conte's going to be nowhere close to being able to recover here because he just did not do anything to have this ball handler go the other direction, retreat in any way. And this ends up being pretty rough because that's Zach Austin's 4th foul. So this one here, this looks like it's going to be drop, and this player just kind of slips this immediately, kind of like a ghost screen situation. But Leggett doesn't really need any help in this situation. He's never screened. And I think this is just miscommunication because Jorge probably should just go with his man here and not just establish this drop point, which allows this kind of jump pass over, which forces a lot of rotation. And now, again, these are not rim protectors really. Jorge sort of is. We know that Corrin is not. And this ends up being a foul. This is the other thing that I thought was kind of rough here down the stretch is understanding that Austin had 4 fouls, and at this moment, Dunn is not on the floor, but putting your smallest player on a 6'7" guy who's much more physical, a little bit stronger, very athletic, and is their best player, I just did not think this was the way that, or the path to victory here, as Lowe just does not stand up in these situations and he just gets backed down. Now, this really isn't his fault. This is not an effort thing, but even when doubles would come, which they would come pretty much often, Florida State still scored in those situations. Here he misses one, gets his own rebound, puts it back. This is a situation here where you're going to see that Corrin comes over and then picks up a foul, and Watkins just parades to the free throw line. Conte picked up a foul in the same situation down on this part of the floor a little bit earlier. So I just not really understanding why this was the defensive adjustment here. To put, and here you see Austin's on the floor, so even though he has 4, is that a better idea, knowing that the Seminoles want to close here with Watkins? Is Leggett a better idea? It just seems like Lowe was probably the least optimal option because you were always going to have to send help, and the amount of fouls that Pitt was incurring during that period of time was just a lot. So never really changed to that, and I think that's kind of disappointing in terms of the outcome if you're a Panthers fan. But these are the types of things that oftentimes determine who wins and who loses in a close game. So we'll see if Pitt kind of has a different set of adjustments here on Saturday.